guys believe I've been doing this shit since 2021? That's 4 years now. Have I been consistent with it? Absolutely not. But I'm gonna try to change that now! Hi guys, Swirly here. Today's video is a bit of a retrospective look back in the way. Not too long, but not too short either. I'm looking back at all my reviews I've made, which are mostly on regular Josh's One's channel, but I have a playlist that has all of them in order, so you can watch them here. The first video review I ever made was a triple combo, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, Wish Dragon, and Luca, which I pretty much gave a 6, 6, and a 7. Shut up, don't say it. Do I still feel the same? Yeah, kinda. To be honest, I completely forgot Wish Dragon existed, and that's not trying to throw any shade at it. The movie isn't really bad. I think what faltered for me was that a lot of it felt fairly generic and unspecial for most of its runtime. But the thing it had going for it was a surprisingly really good third act. Besides that, it was just okay, you know? Nothing I will remember, which is why I forgot about it so fast. Mitchell's vs. the Machines is pretty overrated, honestly. I mean, I get why it has its fans, and I'm happy it did so well with the majority of folks, but for me, it was just kinda meh. Good character design and expressive animation for sure, but the writing, the plot structure, its conflict, I don't know, it left a lot to be desired for me. A sequel is in the works apparently, so maybe that'll be a little tighter for me, but I still feel the same for the most part. Luca is also one that hasn't really changed. It's still a pretty solid movie that's simple in execution, but man, that last leg of the movie is rushed. At least to me it is. It's like they hit the fast forward button to end it as fast as possible. I still do not like Peter Rabbit 2. In fact, I feel like I actually dislike it more now than when I reviewed it. Everything about it is just so lazy, uninspired. No thanks. Space Jam: A New Legacy. You know, I think I'll save this for another video I'm planning. You guys will see why. Jellystone. Yeah, I forgot all about this show. And wow, it really has been a while. The show is finished. I love the art style and the direction C.H. Greenblatt decided to take these characters in, but the humor was very, very hit or miss with me, with really bland plots. At least the first season. I haven't seen anything else other than the first 20-ish episodes. Vivo! Oh man, nobody has talked about this thing at all. Sure, there's stuff to dislike about it, but I don't know, I found it a harmless, cute musical with a lot of heart to it. Nobody straight up hates it, but it definitely feels like a movie that's been completely left in the dust, which I don't think is fair. It could have gotten a little bit more attention, but oh well. I think I forgot about almost every short in Short Circuit. I guess they didn't leave much of an impression on me. Except Going Home. I thought about that one randomly the other day after so many years, and that got me going, aw, damn. That short is fantastic. Centaur World. Ugh. Yeah, season 1 is fine, but season 2 still annoys me to no end. I seem to be in the minority about it though, since it's only had fans gush about it since then, so I just tend to keep my mouth shut from it. But I still feel the same way I do as I did back then. It had lots of promise, but its writing just failed me. My Little Pony: A New Generation. Yeah, this was fine. I don't really remember too much about it either, but I don't remember anything particularly negative. Except with Sprocket, or whatever his name was, being the most annoying antagonist alive. I never saw the follow-up series though, both the CGI and the 2D animated one, both of which failed to really pull in the same fire that Gen 4 did, so oops. I think I only watched this one for fun, honestly. I gave it a 7 in my review, but now it's more like a 6. It's just very, very okay. Almost borderline meh. I suppose I grew out of Diary of a Wimpy Kid material, but even this version felt like it was doing the bare minimum of an adaptation, while somehow missing a ton of its original content from the first book. I also didn't really care enough to see the other two. Encanto is still really great. I think I need to see it one more time to see if I love it, but it's, in my opinion, the last great Disney movie before we got mid to forgettable and disappointment to whatever Moana 2 is. I already know Zootopia 2 is going to pick up the steam right away though, so I'm confident in that one. Another triple feature, alright. Sing 2? Yeah, forgot about it. I like it a little more than the first, but it's not really saying much. I'm not sure what my problem is with these two movies. It feels like I should really like them, but they just don't grab me. Transformania is a movie where I still found it was decent. Now I completely understand why people hate on it. Dracula reverting all his character development towards accepting Johnny into the family just for the sake of plot did feel pretty dumb. I felt like they could have come up with a much better way of having this conflict played out. But I still enjoyed the movie overall, even if it did feel like a somewhat weak conclusion to the movies. A follow-up series is supposedly happening, so that's cool. But I think 4 movies is enough for me when it comes to this. SEAL Team, yup, to be continued in another video. Sorry, I have plans. I'm still very much into My Hero Academia, but I won't lie, out of the 4 movies, I think this one is the most forgettable. It has the most action and spectacle for sure, but after a while, it just felt like visual noise to me. Still pretty decent either way, but I think the 4th movie, You're Next, is much better. I love Turning Red so much. I can't really find much issues I have with this movie at all, which is a little surprising since this movie is so imperfect to everyone else. You either have people tearing it apart, thinking it was just okay, or they love it like me. I've loved it since day one and it's only gotten a little stronger since then. Also, to throw it in there, Field. I still think it's a 10 out of 10 short. Everyone needs to see it. Pompo the Cinephile and Arcane Season 1, I still feel the same, but I feel like I have to apologize for my Arcane review. I felt like I did a weak job at explaining the plot in that one. Also, with how I explained Silco's character. It felt very half-assed. At least to me it did. I actually felt a little negative towards the bad guys after a while. Almost to the point of straight up not really liking it anymore. However, the sequel was announced, and when I saw it, I found it a lot better than the first. So maybe I was just being kind of harsh in the first movie, and maybe I should see it again, just to see if I feel a little better towards it. I still hate the villain though. Yep, moving on. Chicken Hare and Sea Beast. Right. Again, 2 more movies I forgot about. Chicken Hare is a tropey animated movie that tries. And for that, I can somewhat respect it. But I never cared to really watch it again. Sea Beast was also one that tried and has a lot of good things about it. But I don't know, the second half kind of falls off for me. Not in a bad way, just I don't know. I guess it became too much like How to Train Your Dragon in a way where I just felt like I could be watching that instead. Baymax! Zootopia Plus! Yes, these series exist. It seems like nobody watched these though. Post a clip of one of these episodes out of context on any social media app, and the majority of comments will be people like, "Oh, weird! I don't remember this from the movie! Zoinks! Zinkies! Wee!" Yeah, these are fine. If anything, I like the Baymax series more than the Zootopia one, surprisingly. I never got a chance to review the Zootopia one, but I just found a lot of the shorts just kind of whatever to me. That last one especially was pretty bad. Ah, yes, Stray. I spent so much work making this video, and I'm so proud of how it turned out, only to have nobody comment on it. Destroyed my motivation for a while, and it caused me to stop making videos for a while. But besides me being a petty bitch, I still think this game is pretty great. I feel like the whole part of the cat getting captured, and then having the break out of the jail area is still the weakest part though. It makes sense in the context of the world and how the robots act, since they're merely adapting the personalities of their human owners and whatnot, so they also copy said personalities. But still, this was just silly. But I'm glad it won Best Indie Game of the Year at the Game Awards at the time. Good stuff. Fuck the Pinocchio remake. Me and all my homies hate the Pinocchio remake. I still feel weird about Dot and the Kangaroo. I like it, but I don't. I respect on how off-putting and how off the whole vibe is, being cheery and happy, but depressing, and then the bunyip, and then the ending. Oh god, the ending. Still, one of the strangest animated movies I've ever seen. I'm very happy at the reception though. I got tons of people sharing their childhood memories watching this. I'm not gonna go over these 2 videos. We'll be here all week long. But just know that I did change my opinions on a bunch of these, particularly with Flow. I gave it a high 8 in the video, but after a couple rewatches, I bumped that bitch to a 10. I absolutely love it now. Unicorn Warriors Eternal. Right. Another series I forgot I watched. It's weird. It's like the show or movie has to be really great to stick out of my mind. If I think it's good, decent, or fine, it just kind of fades. Like this show! It had a lot of potential for sure. Interesting story, interesting characters, but its writing and pacing needed work, especially the pacing, because literally what the hell was that last episode? I'm not sure if this is ever coming back for a season 2, so it is what it is, I guess. Migration was so cute! When I reviewed this, it was still in theaters, so I was literally using snapshots and some clips from a bootleg copy. A year later, after I made this review, I got the 4K and rewatched it properly, and still felt more or less the same. It's a very solid animated movie that's a lot of fun to watch. It has its issues, it's not perfect, it's nothing stellar or spectacular, but there's nothing about it I would call flat out bad or awful. It's just solid. Although, try to take a shot every time they excitedly go, woohoo, in the sky though. You'll die. And that's about it, methinks. Overall, the majority of stuff I've reviewed is stuff I either felt the same about or just straight up forgot. Going forward, I like to pick stuff to review that I feel like it would be more worth my time to discuss, whether it be extremely negative, extremely positive, or just okay. I've been holding back making reviews for a long time now due to a big lack of motivation, but I'm trying to brush that aside for a new fresh start, and I feel like this is only the tip of the iceberg for now. Also, I won't be announcing whatever I'll review next in a future video. I said I was going to review Maya and the 3 a few times in older videos, only for me to watch episode 1, not liking it at all, and then just never finishing it. So whatever happens, happens, and I hope you guys stick around for it. Speaking of that, I hope you stuck around this long. Swirly out.